Welcome back to the Starlight Broadcast, yet another Star Wars podcast. Once again, I'm Ted.
And I'm Brad.
And we're back. Episode 2. We're not a one and done. Yeah. I didn't plan anything else other than that.
We're still going strong. We're yet another Star Wars broadcast, as you said last week. Yet another Star Wars podcast.
Well, we're a broadcast and a podcast, you know?
We're both.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's sort of a two
we
in
got
one.
a little bit of sauce with it.
Yeah.
Today, we wanted to kind of, I guess, I don't know, be a little bit more relevant and talk about Skeleton Crew, because it's a newer show that I could say that I think both of us really liked, right, Ted?
Yeah. No, I actually hated it. I've been lying to you.
Oh.
Dude, that would be funny if we were talking about it and every episode I was just like, did not like it, was not a fan actually.
That'd have been whack. If you lied to me until this and were like, yo, I actually despise this show, I'd be so confused.
No, I would never do that to you.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so we got Skeleton Crew thoughts about like the whole show and everything like that, and then we also got some news to talk about.
Yes,
in the Star Wars worlds,
some exciting stuff
we've been hearing about
on
lately. Yeah, some interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to start off?
I mean, sure. The biggest thing definitely is that the rumor is that Ryan Gosling is going to be cast in the new Star Wars film directed by Sean Levi.
Sean Levy, I think.
Maybe. I don't know.
Whichever.
Which is pretty crazy to me. Ryan Gosling, he's never really been big into franchises. I think the closest he's ever come was doing the Blade Runner sequel. And that's literally just a 2-movie franchise. It's not really something huge like that. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, it's cool. I do really like Ryan Gosling, but Star Wars is at its best when it's got like minimal, like high tier A-list actors.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Star Wars when it's got people that I'm not too familiar with.
Yeah, but granted, some of our favorite Star Wars stuff outside of the main episodes do have more well-known names. Like even Skeleton Crew has Jude Law, and like
that's true.
He was one of the main selling points of the show.
I think,
but then we also have the amazing cast surrounding him.
You know, Star Wars now, especially in the shows, has gotten a lot more big names. I mean, Mando season 3 in one episode had Jack Black, Lizzo, and Christopher Lloyd, actually. Which is, what a lineup, dude. Christopher Lloyd being a separatist sympathizer. I love that, actually. That was fun.
It was fun, but it was so weird. Very weird
episode. But and then I guess Pedro Pascal.
He's been,
Kumail Nanjiani was in the Obi-Wan show.
Yep. You got Taika Waititi directing and voicing in Mando.
Oh my god, yeah.
He directed some episodes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of been littered with it if you think about it. Honestly, like Ahsoka, I don't really know. Ray Stevenson, yeah. Rosario, yeah.
Yeah, Rosario's pretty well known.
Yeah. Hayden, of course.
Who? No, just
yeah.
Oh, Hayden, dude, he was huge. He's in Little Italy. You ever see that movie?
Oh, nah.
Fire movie.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's so what a movie. Sorry. I'm getting so off topic.
No, you're good. No, so I think I'm looking forward to it. Granted, we know nothing about this movie. It's literally an untitled Star Wars film with this casting reveal. Apparently, I guess it got pushed up in the filming schedule. So Mando and Grogu is the next movie, I think, slated to be in theaters.
Yes.
Right. And then this would be bumped up to be in production right after that one.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a good sign, that since they got him, it kind of got bumped. I don't know if they got more faith in it now. And I guess we'll see who else they cast. And
it might be, I mean, yeah, it depends who else they cast. My thinking is they got Ryan Gosling. They want to capitalize on that. And, you know, Mahershala Ali is Blade. They cast him, and it's just been getting pushed off. And I know that's Marvel, but it's still Disney and whatever. But
Sure.
That's like a good example. It keeps getting pushed off. And now the talk is like, oh, he's going to drop out any fucking day. He's going to drop out. They're going to have to scramble. They're going to have to rehire a new Blade. I don't think they want. I don't think Ryan Gosling's a huge franchise guy. I don't think he, I think they just want to capitalize on the fact that he's willing right now. And they're like, okay, let's just get this done. Let's just get this out there.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be cool if, again, it could be like, maybe not. I mean, during Skywalker Saga, but not tied to it. It could be something like Skeleton Crew, where it's like in the time period, but separated from the main story. I think it could be really cool because we haven't really, because even Rogue One and Solo are very much tied to the main story.
Yeah, so those definitely have some strong ties.
Yeah, if we get a movie that's just purely on its own within the time with Gosling, I feel like that could be kind of cool. And Levy's a pretty good director. I like some of his films.
I've only seen Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think that might be the only one I saw.
I thought it was all right. It's definitely gotten worse to me personally as I've thought about it, because it really,
once the newness wears off,
yeah, like it does. How do I put this? It really does. A lot of the heavy lifting is done with the cameos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the story on its own is not the strongest. Flimsy. Yeah.
Well, I guess let's just stay in the realm of live action media.
Okay.
We have some casting rumors for Ahsoka season 2.
Very big casting rumors.
Very big. We got Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor possibly both coming back for Ahsoka season 2. Now, I think it's very interesting that it's Ahsoka that they're coming back in.
I mean,
and
yes,
there's also a rumored season 2 of Obi-Wan that's happening too. So I don't know.
Yeah, if we get Padme and Obi-Wan in Ahsoka, it's going to be more flashbacks. And I think Star Wars is doing a lot of flashbacks that they've never really done before. We've had flashbacks in Mando. We've had flashbacks in Book of Boba Fett. We've had flashbacks in Ahsoka. But the Ahsoka flashbacks were technically a vision. And so it's a little different.
Yeah.
But they're doing a lot of flashbacks lately.
I think because Star Wars really never had shows like this.
Yeah.
At least when we were growing up. So now that they so openly have a bigger slate of shows and want to fill in these gaps between movies, I guess it kind of makes sense why they're going so much into flashbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like every new show that comes out, there's a flashback to something that already previously happened.
I mean, Skeleton Crew was supposed get into Skeleton Crew a little bit. Skeleton Crew was supposed to have a flashback, and they ended up cutting that. And I've seen a lot of people praise the fact that they allowed some things to be sort of a mystery.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's a case by case basis. I think it makes a lot of sense why it got cut in Skeleton Crew, because it wasn't necessary.
That wasn't essential. Now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to see Natalie Portman in Star Wars again.
Yeah, Natalie Portman would be huge, dude. She hasn't done anything, as far as I'm aware, since the prequels.
She's been in a couple things, but
I mean Star Wars.
Oh, in Star Wars, yeah. Because she wasn't Padme's voice in Clone Wars. Yeah, I think she's literally been separated from Star Wars.
Wild.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
2005. I'm sure she'd be ecstatic to return. I hope it'd be cool if we see just snippets of how Ahsoka really considered her a friend.
Yeah, because they were really close.
Mm-hmm.
And she was at a funeral.
Dude, such a good scene.
Yeah, that was really sad. It was. I think this is kind of old news, but I mean, Hayden Christensen is also rumored to return for season 2. And I'm pretty sure, I think her name is Ariana Greenblatt or something like that. That's the young Ahsoka. I think she is also rumored to return. So it sounds like these are rumors, obviously, so take it with a grain of salt. But if this is all true, then we are getting a dedicated Clone Wars era flashback with everybody, which would be really cool. Because that means we would see General Kenobi live action, hopefully.
Yo, I think Ewan just wants to be in the Clone Wars armor. And I cannot blame the guy.
Ewan has, I think, like the most excitedness to come back. Like he was super on board for Obi-Wan. He said like he would love to do a second season of Obi-Wan. He's very much down to return.
Yeah. No, that'd be really cool. And I feel like it'd be interesting to be like Ahsoka season 1 is kind of like Rebels 2.0. And then if Ahsoka season 2 is more like Clone Wars 2.0, that'd be a little interesting.
That would be cool.
So I don't know, it'd be interesting. As long as it furthers Ahsoka's character, I'm down with it.
Man.
You know?
I'm curious because Ahsoka, she's also in a separate galaxy right now. Like, I'm really curious where her story is going to go because she's going to have to return, right?
Mm-hmm. I would assume. I would hope.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving away from Ahsoka, but still casting. Well, not even casting. Just whispers in the void.
Of course.
Cal Kestis, the man, might be making his live action debut.
Okay.
In what? We don't know. Where? How? Why? We don't know. Well, why? We know because he's great. But
he's a goat.
Ted, your thoughts?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I put this in there. I've heard these rumors about once a year since like maybe 2021.
Since Survivor, or like in between Fallen Order and Survivor.
I've heard every now and again, Cal Kestis is going to be in the new Mandalorian. Cal Kestis is going to be in Book of Boba Fett. Cal Kestis is going to be in a flashback in this show. Cal Kestis is going to be making his live action debut in this movie. Never happens. He's not been in anything. I don't believe it yet. If, a lot of rumors from a lot of different sources come out and they're like, Cal Kestis, he's going to be here, I'll be like, okay, I'll buy it. But right now, I mean, listen, he's a really great actor, and casting someone like Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis, it kind of, you do need to eventually put him into live action, I think, because he's such a great character, and to keep an actor like him just in the video games, I don't know. But it's like, how are you going to make that transition? Because in a video game, Cal has got some of the craziest shit, especially with his lightsaber. Like
he does a lot.
In Survivor, in Fallen Order, he had a single blade, and then he had it turned into a double blade that he could split apart. In Survivor, he's got a single blade, he's got a double blade, he's got split apart, he's got a cross guard, he's got the single blade with the pistol. I could see them doing the double blade, the split blade, the single blade, and the pistol. But the cross guard would be really hard because that's like its whole own thing.
I feel like they would take out the cross guard.
Sure. And I will say, dude, getting to see Cal Kestis with like Jaro Tapal's lightsaber live action would be really nice, man. Would be really nice.
Would be really cool. Now, I'm still playing through Jedi Survivor, so I haven't finished the story yet. I've been just traversing Kobo, just
Kobo's
looking
a great
around
planet.
everywhere.
It's really fun to explore.
Great planet. And I just unlocked the ability to lift and drop things.
Yes.
So I'm like going to doorways and just doing all that. But no, Cal, I feel like has a lot of potential in live action.
Definitely. And
it'd just be interesting to see what they do with him if they ever do anything, because I feel like Cameron, right?
Yes.
Cameron Monaghan?
Yeah.
I feel like he would be so down for it. And I feel like I don't even know if he would commit more to it than the games. But now I think if it was put on him to do it in live action, I think he would go even harder to try and put more effort into it, but just like try and make a stamp of it more, because I feel like there's a lot of people that don't play the games, at least those games. And if it got translated to him in live action or whatever, if he makes such a strong impression just acting in one show or movie, how many people would want to then go back and play the games? He would kind of want to boost not even himself, but just his co-stars and everybody he was with in the games, and just the stories that he was a part previously,
Dude, if we get Cal, the odds that we get a live action Grease.
Oh, and he agrees.
BD, Marin. Woo! Seeing those guys live action. See, like,
and
I don't believe it, but I want to believe it. I want it to be happening.
They're already cast in the games, and they're all perfect. And we have Seer, Marin, like all that. Like, there's so much opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see where the third game goes.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for you to finish Survivor. I'm
looking forward to it.
That came out 2023, right?
Oh God, it's 25 now. Yeah, I think 23.
Right? Because I played that during my junior year. Yes, I do want to say 2023. That, I think, was my game of the year for 2023. I sunk I've got like around 80 hours by the time I finished that game.
Oh,
I'm loving it. I loved it.
I have 32, 33, I think.
Yeah, dude, if you're still just
last night
mucking around on Kobo, you're gonna have a long playthrough.
Yeah. I don't know how far I am in the story, if you know, but I just rescued Z from, oh my God, what's it called? Lucre Hulk. I rescued Z from the Lucre Hulk.
Brad, how far into the game are you? Wait, how many hours?
32.
You're at 32 hours and you just rescued Z?
From the Lucre Hulk.
Bro, you're gonna have like 150-hour runtime by the end of this. Oh my God.
Dude, I like exploring. What can I say?
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you sent me a picture of your lightsaber. Your lightsaber looks gas.
Yeah, I'm very much with you with the reading High Republic. I'm feeling that, and like my saber in the game right now is just all gold, white, just hints of like silver.
No, it's nice.
But yeah, I got the yellow blade going. I got BD kitted with the gold paint too.
Ooh, fire!
So I try and make it look all.
I got my BD kind of looking like R2.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that color scheme.
Yeah. If you haven't played the Jedi games, I'd say do it.
Yeah, get on that right now.
If you feel like Star Wars is lacking in the video game department, Battlefront 2, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, and then the Jedi games, I would say.
Yeah, man. Cal's story. I would say, even if you're not huge on video games, just slap it on an easy difficulty. Because Cal's story is it's so thrilling. It's so like you really get into it. It's really impressive. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I finished that game and I was empty for a couple days, man.
Gosh.
Yeah. Speaking of High Republic real quick. This is a small thing. But next Tuesday, the day, hopefully when this episode comes out, January 28th, the cover for the very final High Republic book, Trials of the Jedi, written by Charles Soule, is going to be revealed.
That's crazy.
Both of us just finished Out of the Shadows, the young adult novel written by Justina Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
It was solid. You know, we'll have an episode about the High Republic books later. But, I'm taking a quick break from the High Republic. I started reading Brotherhood, which is set just after the Battle of Geonosis, and it's about Anakin and Obi-Wan. Anakin has just been knighted, so they've got a real dynamic shift, and neither of them really know how to handle it.
Ooh, interesting.
It's interesting so far. I'm only like a couple chapters in, but it's Anakin and Obi-Wan, dude. It's awesome.
Of course, yeah. I don't know. I think I might take a little break from it. I do still have my Guardians of the Whills book. I don't know, because I have like I think it's called the Star Wars Archives. Ooh. And it's a 3-book
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, all the behind the scenes of the original trilogy and stuff like that. So I don't know if I want to just go back to that or whatever. Maybe take a little break, because then the next one, our next on the list is Tempest Runner, right?
Yes, that's an audio drama script book. Yeah. So that's going to be real easy to go through.
I got it. It's a big book, but yeah, the pages are pretty sparse. So I don't know. See what happens there.
It's about Lorna D.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. If you told me reading Light of the Jedi, the very first book, that we would have a whole audio drama dedicated to just her, I would have been like, why? Yeah, but I don't know where her character's at. I understand why.
Yeah. after Rising Storm, it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm just excited for Fallen Star, because that's also written by Claudia Gray, who did Into the Dark.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's a terrifying name.
It is.
Bro, because
the covers are ominous.
The mainline books are in phase 1 is Light of the Jedi, Rising Storm, Fallen Star. Light of the Jedi is like, oh, Light of the Jedi. Rising Storm is like, oh, okay. And Fallen Star, and you're like, oh shit, oh no.
Also, if you don't read any of the other stuff, you just get those 3.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right, well, with reading material, I'm going to pivot to one last news thing.
Yes.
It's about the comics.
Yes.
Last year, the mainline Star Wars comic run ended, and that was, I have a little bit of it, also written by our main man, Soul, the dude. It takes place immediately after Empire and fills in, I believe, it fills in the gap between Empire and Return. So now, with the new run starting, it's being brought to us by Alex Segura, who wrote the Battle of Jakku run, which is also a big thing that happens near the start of this New Republic era.
Okay.
And that's going to start up in May, which I think is pretty cool. But it's immediately after Return of the Jedi, and it's going to be building out a lot of the New Republic timeline, which that's I think exciting. Is the majority of where the shows take place.
Yes.
So that's cool. I'm still making my way through the comics, so I don't have too many thoughts, but I do really like it, and Soul's a really good writer. But let's pivot to the main thing.
The crew of skeletons. It was okay.
No,
I'm just kidding.
What a treat this was, you know?
You were telling me to watch it. I didn't catch up until the second to last episode. And by the time I sat down and started watching it, I watched it in 2 days. 2 sittings, I mean. And yeah, dude, I'm really glad that I caught up before it ended, because it was just so much fun.
It really was.
Just constantly. There were some moments where I'm like, nah, but the majority of the show, it's just like like what you said, it's disconnected, and it is such a non-lore changing, nothing it's not trying to do anything crazy. It's just telling a simple, fun story.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I'm very glad we got something that isn't the Mandalorian who meets Luke Skywalker. I just turned my lightsaber on. Sorry.
Oh my god.
The Mandalorian meets Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka show, Boba Fett. It's just no, these are just some random ass kids in the galaxy,
going on a journey with a pirate.
I love Star Wars pirates, man. I was hoping Hondo would show up, but maybe someday.
Maybe. I thought it was great. I think I've seen a lot of the comparisons that I've also made it myself. It feels very 80s Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
Very adventurous and light and fun and kind of creepy sometimes. And also it has its serious moments, which I really, really like.
It did dude, and the child actors, the kids did such a good job of balancing the different emotions.
True. I have them right here. So we got Ryan Kiera Armstrong as Fern.
Yes.
Ariana Crater as KB. Robert Timothy Smith, strong name for Neil. And I believe, sorry for mispronouncing, Ravi Kabat Conyers as Wim, and then Jude Law as Jadna Nawood or Silvo or whoever.
Or Crimson Jack or
Crimson Jack, whoever. Shout out to the entire
7 names, bro.
Yeah, you did. Shout out to the entire child cast. They were awesome.
Dude, they were so good. Quick spoilers, but I think it's episode 4 when they're at Akron and Fern starts to cry and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, oh man,
I was hoping that would happen too, dude, a little bit. Yeah, because that whole time, from the moment you meet her, she's putting up that tough girl persona that nothing bothers her or whatever. And I was like, I want a moment where that kind of breaks, and then that happens. I'm like, I love that. Like, I love these moments where we just see the characters how they really are, and that they are just kids, and that they're in a galaxy that's scary, and that they don't know what they're doing, and they're with a dude that's kind of a scumbag, but he also kind of cares about them. So yeah, I don't know. Episode 4. I'm assuming we're gonna go full spoilers into this because the full show has been out for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each episode just got cooler, more creative, more personal. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna put it out there. I think my least favorite episode was, unfortunately, episode 4. The Ad Akron episode.
Really?
Yeah. I want to start on the negatives so that I can focus more on the positives.
All right, fair.
Like, spoiler alert, this is a Skeleton Crew review. We're gonna talk about it. I liked a Neil-centric episode, but the whole like guerrilla warfare and like the leader being like, "No, you have to work for us now."
Yeah.
Prove yourself, children who we just met 20 minutes ago. Go to war for us, or I will kill you. I was like, dude, like, what are we doing? This is a little. He's like, we're gonna train you. They had like one session where they missed most of their shots, and he's like, time to send you to war. I don't know. The end of the episode was really good with that Fern moment, and then
KB.
Yeah, with KB.
No, 33 getting turned.
Yes. 33, dude. That was a crazy ending to the episode.
Yeah.
And like I did really like the stuff with Neil, but I just found personally that episode to be one of the weaker ones.
That's fair. I really liked the episode. I feel like because that episode was directed by the Daniels, Quan and Shiner.
I think so.
Who were the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is a fantastic movie. But I didn't really feel their personality really shine through in that episode. Except like I say like the heartfelt moments, and once 33 turned, it had like that lockdown kind of wacky camera angle on his face.
Mm.
That's when I felt like it was more them. But I liked it because I really like Neil, and I feel like it was a good episode of like. It was funny that we're watching a show in a franchise called Star Wars, and one of the kids just sits down. And he's like, "Why are you guys fighting?" He's like, "Just don't." Like,
yeah, just like stop
like if it could only be that easy, and like,
yeah,
it's cool. I feel like it does a good job too of like it's kids experiencing life, so it's like showing that where you're brought up it affects you in a way, and how you're raised and all that stuff, and that it could be different, and that's fine, Yeah.
Was it ever explained why Ad Akron was at war like that? I cannot remember.
Remember either.
I really hope I'm wrong, but I can't remember, and I don't think they explained it, which is another point where I'm just like, like you're just gonna have this planet just like what? I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the episode. I like Neil. I like the development that he has with the girl. Yes, I think that's kind of
that was a highlight for not just the episode but the series, I think.
Also, possibly my favorite episode ending with Neil.
Oh, when he passed out.
When he's just passing out mid-sentence.
Yeah,
I literally rewound it. I was losing it, dude.
Neil was an absolute gem and a highlight throughout the season. His attitude was so needed for everything and for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like each kid definitely hit a certain personality.
Yes, they all had a definite like, not necessarily like crew role to play, but like an emotional role to play for each other and for the story, I think. Because they were also different, but also similar,
Yeah. All right. Well, do you have a favorite episode? What's your favorite, you'd say?
Let me pull up my notes real quick. I don't know. It might be episode 7. It might be episode 8. Episode 7 was really, really good. Episode 8 was also really solid. I liked that characters that we hadn't really seen so much got more of a spotlight, like Wim's dad, where he's like, son, you're talking to a level 7 systems coordinator.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
The parents had a little bit of time to shine, which is cool.
Yeah, when he punched John, and when Fern's mom and Wim's dad both like stood up to the system and shut down the what's it called? The shield.
Oh, the supervisor.
No, they didn't shut.
No, yeah, they shut down the Yeah, it was like the storm making.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it the shield
system. Yeah, pretty much.
Or the barrier. That's what it was. It was the barrier.
Barrier, right?
And that was like, I love that, especially for Fern's mom, because she was so dead set on adhering to the ways of life.
Yeah,
and that was really great.
Scene too, where like the barrier clears and everybody starts seeing the stars for the first time.
Yes, dude, I love that moment. That was really great. But episode 7, just like full. That was like, I think the only full episode of just like real villain Jod. Because in episode 8, like, he did not want to kill people. He had so many opportunities. I am still kind of a Jod sympathizer, man. Like, he had so many opportunities to kill Wim, to kill Wim's dad, to kill Fern, to kill Fern's mom. He didn't do it once. He had a lightsaber. All he did was threaten.
That's interesting, because I remember you telling me if there is no Jod hater, I will be that hater.
Okay, that was
that was before he was sparing lives.
Yeah, that was before Wim called out to him, and he just looks back, and I'm like,
yeah,
he was a kid once.
Yeah.
But episode 7, I really like. I like Jod just coming in,
bro.
It was episode 7 where he chops off 33's head. No.
Yep. Yeah.
And I love, like, it's such a small detail, but the way that he wields a lightsaber. You can, like, Jude Law did such a good job of being awkward with it while still being like menacing.
He did.
You know, because like even the way he like ignites it and then like chops off 33's head, it's like clunky.
It's very wooden.
Yeah.
It's like he has no grace wielding it.
It's like maybe he had a master for a little bit. We don't know how long, but maybe like the master lent him the lightsaber and was like, here, practice with this. So he knows like very delicate safety beginner styles of using a lightsaber. That's why he like is sort of comfortable holding it, but he's not comfortable using it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And once they got to At-Atten, it was so exciting. And then Jod just comes in and just shut up, get down on the ground right now. Yeah. I got a headache. I just want my money.
I remember you told me when he was yelling at Neil, you're like, don't ever yell at Neil.
No, that
like, I get it, dude.
I was a white knuckling dude. I was
the moments where Jod freaks out and just yells at them. It's like it's intimidating.
No, for sure. He does a really good job of bouncing back and forth between like charismatic and scary.
Yeah, dude, that's why I absolutely loved. I don't know why I wasn't expecting this or why it surprised me so much. The end of episode 5, where they find the treasure and Jod goes full villain. Challenges Fern for the leader of captain, for the role of captain, and literally holds a knife to her neck. I thought that was crazy. And then he becomes the villain.
Oh,
for the rest of the show.
Just like that. And dude,
that was great.
I love that 33 was like, sorry guys, I have to listen to the new captain. And they were like, God
Nick
damn
Frost
it.
was great as 33 too.
33 was a highlight of the season for me. Him and Neil.
I remember no At-Atten.
Can't say I recall no At-Atten. He's like, I do recall At-Atten.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That whole episode was so much fun. I forget the name of the alien they met, but like that was a great fake out.
That was really cool. I love like the Indiana Jones kind of vibe with solving the puzzle and going into
man.
And stuff like
it
that.
really was
awesome.
Like, this was a love letter to the 80s, dude.
Yeah.
Because was it
like very Goonies and Indiana Jones.
Episode 6 was the one where they meet the crab, like the giant crab, right?
Episode 6 is maybe my favorite.
Really? I loved the KB moment. KB getting some shine was great because I always felt like she was kind of in the background.
KB, yeah, with the where Wim learns how to switch out the augs and stuff. Yeah, I like that I like that they argue and that they break up and that they need time away from each other to just like talk about stuff, and they each got to learn their own lesson and stuff like that. And I just like seeing them. I love that KB gets some spotlight, and Wim helps her and that he still learns something from her, and she, kind of helps him with that. And then, everybody's doing their own thing. And then with Fern helping Neil and her not being as selfish.
Yeah.
It's cool. And I like it. And I love I think tetanus. Tetanus is what it's called. That king crab looking thing.
Dude, that was stop motion.
It was?
Yeah, it was stop motion, and then they just like superimposed it onto the over.
Oh, interesting.
So fire. Again, like 80s, dude. Practical effects.
And it's a creepy looking thing.
It was really creepy. And yeah, man. That was the same episode with where the onyx cinder like shed its skin, right?
Yeah, right at the end.
Yeah, dude, ooh.
It's pretty sweet.
Fire shit, man.
That's when like you see Fern kind of like take up more of a, well, not even Fern doing it, but just KB says that she's going to I don't know if it's just the engine, and then Wim is just saying that he's going to the turret, and then Neil and Fern are piloting. Like
everybody's pretty confident
naturally. Now. Yeah. And then they break away from that onyx cinder shell, and then they go. But I just love the character moments in that episode. Yeah, it was Bryce Dallas Howard who directed it, and she's good.
She does a really good job. She directed I think she directed, what episode of Mando did she direct? Because I remember really liking it.
She directed a couple.
And she's the voice of Yaddle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So she directed in season 1. So she did chapter 4, chapter 11, and she did. Okay, so she's done one episode per season, and she did that Book of Boba Fett, Return of the Mandalorian.
Right.
Damn. Yeah, dude. That's like, sucks to say about Book of Boba Fett. That's like the best episode.
Yeah. But no, Bryce is good. She knows her Star Wars stuff. She knows that direction. But yeah, I'd say like episode 8 is probably the best. I've heard some people say that it was a little bit rushed.
I don't think it was rushed. I think it had an abrupt ending, and that's why people think it's rushed.
Yeah.
Because they pretty much
I'd say so.
Cover and resolve almost everything except like what's going to happen to Ad
and Jod.
Yeah, and Jod. But it's like, the way I see it is, you can kind of assume these things. Oh, Jod's going to go to jail, or Jod's going to escape. They're either going to become a full-fledged member of the New Republic, or Fern's mom will become the new supervisor, or something like that. Wim's probably going to become a New Republic pilot. But then it's also like, sure, you can assume these things and kind of infer and guess, but at the same time, it's like, okay, these are setups for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think pretty much everybody said like they're down for a season 2. They're excited for a season 2. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll like a season 2. I think I told you that I wasn't sure if I wanted one, but I don't know, wanting to see more of the crew grown up and where they lead, I think that's what I'm saying, dude. Cool.
Give it like a couple years, like confirm it, but be like, we have a story to tell. We have to wait for these actors to age up a little bit.
Yeah.
Make them like, how old do you think they are? They're in like middle school right now.
They're in their teens. Yeah. I would say confirm it. Get that pre-production, like get a script and like story set. And then I would say don't start filming until like 3 years from now.
Yeah. Wait till they're like in their teens. I think that'd be really fun.
I would say like 16, 17, to where there's like a noticeable difference.
Yeah. I think that would be really, really exciting, because then it would be a whole different vibe too. Like to see these characters that we saw as kids be like older, depending on the status of AT-AT, and maybe like more versed in the goings on in the galaxy. Like maybe
grow up together.
Dude, how great would it be? Season 2 starts, time skip. First episode, we see Neil comes back, and they're like, Neil, how's Ad Akron? And he's like, we got a peace treaty.
Yeah,
that'd be fire.
Cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like it'd be cool seeing that, and just like what is life like for them as teens, and what is AT-AT and like at that point too.
Right? Is it still going to be like suburban wars?
I don't know. Speaking of suburban, dude, I don't know why the shot freaked me out so much. The shot in episode 8 when you're on the ground with Wim and his dad, and the camera looks up and you see the pirate ship come through the clouds.
Yeah.
So scary.
No, yeah, they did a really good job of making the pirates feel intimidating.
Mm-hmm. And then I was not expecting it when the cannons go out and they just start shooting the town.
Just raining fire was crazy, dude. And like they were raiding people's houses. They were like, oh my God. I was a little nervous that the show was going to get darker, but I'm glad they kept with like a relatively consistent tone throughout.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Yeah, man. Yeah. Episode 8 was really... Episode 8 had probably the most like dedicated action.
Yeah,
I would say.
I think so.
Like okay. Another negative, because I just remember, we are bouncing all over the place. I thought we were going to go like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, but I'm much more enjoying this. There was, I think it was, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what episode it was, but it was when all the parents were trying to send out that beacon. Was it 6?
It was the beginning of one of the episodes. Yeah, and they're all getting stunned.
Yeah, but like that chase scene, again, Star Wars has not been good at chase scenes because they're not even like sprinting. They're all just like jogging. I
don't know why live action Star Wars just can't make a convincing chase scene. I don't know if it's because they're in the volume and like the space is limited and it's like, oh, don't like full sprint. But like it's kind of awkward and like it looks like they're just lacking a sense of urgency.
I feel like you can't even use that as an excuse because like look at the Obi-Wan show. That was not on the volume. That was like in a forest, and that was one of the worst chase scenes I think I've ever seen. Don't even get me started on the Book of Boba Fett chase scene, man.
I do not want to talk about that.
We're going to talk about Book of Boba Fett, man. It's going to happen. We're talking about Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett. We're talking about Acolyte. We're talking about all the shows.
All the shows?
All the show, except for like Star Wars Resistance. I'm not going to watch that.
Again, that Mando season 3 episode, say what you will about whatever. At least it looked like Mando and Bo-Katan were like actually running through the city.
Yeah.
Weren't they chasing that droid? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And you have strange. In season 2 of Mando, don't you have like a pretty solid speeder chase?
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Mando action has been pretty good.
With Carl Weathers, R.I.P.
Yeah, dude. That's right. Because he was really he loved his character. I'm pretty sure. Like he always came back. Character. And I liked the evolution of his character a lot. I really liked where he was going.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna recast.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I would want that.
I mean, dude, they wrote off Cara Dune or whatever.
Yeah, because of Gina Carano?
Yes, that was her name. Yeah, dude, I don't even remember what she said at this point, but it was like, I think it was like anti-vaxxer stuff, and they were just like, nope, we're done. Yeah, we're okay.
And you know, Disney being as reactionary as they are.
Oh yeah. I think I would have been more upset if I liked that character more, but I was just like, nah.
Yeah, she was fine.
She was all right. Like, I didn't hate her, but I was also just like, all right, man. Like, yeah, she's all right. Bo-Katan's way better. Let's be real.
Bo-Katan's better. Grief Karga's better.
Bill Fennec Burr is better. Fennec Shand.
Fennec is better. Yeah,
Fennec was gas, dude. I love Fennec. She might have been my favorite like Book of Boba Fett character aside from like Mando and everything. She was awesome.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially, dude, if you want more Fennec, well, yeah, like Mando, of course, but she's in Bad Batch a little bit.
I'm really hoping Star Wars does more with books. Because now that like I'm really starting to get into the book world of Star Wars, I'm wanting more of just like all these different characters. Like, give me a Fennec book set, like before Mando, after Bad Batch, something like where she is building her reputation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, imagine like a Western style book, but it's set in Star Wars.
I think that's cool. What Book of Boba Fett was going for, and it did not. Didn't really hit it.
Yeah, man. I will give Book of Boba Fett this. I'm obsessed with the way that Tamora Morrison says Tatooine. Tatooine.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Scratches an itch in my brain every time.
Yeah, no, he says it.
I'm so good at getting off topic. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Star Wars. It's all Star Wars. We're good. I was gonna bring it back to how good the sets and the practicality of Skeleton Crew was.
Yeah, man. I think they just dropped on Disney Plus not too long ago, like an inside look into Skeleton Crew, and I really want to watch that because I need to know what was CG and what was practical, like in terms of the sets. Because that, I forget the name of the base, but like that pirate base where like they first get introduced to like the world of pirates.
It was awesome.
It was really great. I loved it so much. And I loved how everywhere they went, like Wim says it, everywhere they go, even the bad places, there were good people. And because I immediately was like, oh, I do not trust this lady who comes up and she's like, where are your parents? Why are you here? I was like, she's evil. She's going to try and steal them. She's going to do something bad. But no, she was like genuinely just trying to like help them out.
And just worried.
But like they did such a good job of keeping the tension there when I'm like, no, stay away from her. Stranger danger. Get away. That was great.
Yeah. Because like, it's like
port. I forget what it was called though.
Yeah, no, but that was one of the highlights. And like every episode had at least some environment that just looks so cool. And like episode 3, when they go see Kim, that little owl lady.
I love Kim.
Her set was sick, and it like spun around, and it felt so lived in, which was cool. And dude, the shot of them walking with that planet.
Yes.
And the silhouette.
That was really nice.
Great stuff. Honestly, cinematography of the show, pretty solid.
It wasn't anything to like.
It wasn't anything crazy
about, but like it was consistent.
Definitely. Yeah, there were some more. It was consistent, and there were some shots where like, oh, that is cool.
Yes, which is, I would much rather have consistency with sometimes where you're like, oh, fire shot, versus like one really good episode and then like one really plain looking episode, one really, really, really good episode, and then one kind of bad looking episode. I'm happy with how I feel like the resources for Skeleton Crew were very well thought out.
Yeah, I feel like they knew very much what they wanted to put the money in where.
Yeah. Also, the show just looked like nothing really stood out to me as being like iffy.
Nah, I wouldn't say so. There wasn't really like effects wise. I wouldn't say there was something that I was like, oh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Also, shout out episode 8 for bringing back the B-Wing.
Yes, dude.
Fighter.
B-Wing's gas, man.
Really cool design.
You know what we need? We need a Star Wars Squadrons 2. Whole new game. Just re-release the first one with a different plot or a different story to get more people to play it, man. Put the B-Wing in there. Put like bring in Battlefront 2, put some hero ships in there. Give me the Millennium Falcon. Let me pilot that in first person. Like, come on.
I feel like that'd be really cool. I never played Squadrons.
If it was cross-platform, I don't think it is. Oh fuck, it actually might be, and it's still a dead game, even though that game I played it for like 3 hours since 2020.
Oh yeah.
And I still like, I wish it was still active because I want to play it, but like all you can do is like training mode and like AI bot battles, and I'm like, I don't want to do that, man.
Yeah. But yeah, like
B-Wing was fire.
B-Wing was fire. It took out the pirate super pirate thing.
Super pirate ship.
Super pirate ship.
I think Star Wars has really polished their space battles. Everything in space looks so good now.
Yeah.
Like the way, like, you know, I love the original trilogy. But you watch episode 4, A New Hope, the X-Wings are moving a little just kind of simple movements, I feel like. And then, say what you want about the sequels, but the start of The Last Jedi, dude, Poe ripping on top of the dreadnought. That was fire. Awesome.
Just the way the entire bombing squad gets taken out.
Yeah, dude.
That too. But yeah,
Rogue
like
One, the Rogue One space fight.
The third act in Rogue One, for sure.
I love Rogue One. I'm waiting to watch it. But the urge is there, man. We are like, we're like 90 something days away from Andor season 2. We're right there, man. We're so close.
Hype is building.
Yeah, man. I'm hype. We're gonna have to I think we should do an Andor season 1 review, like before season 2 comes out.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah,
that's gonna be so good. Anyway, back to this. One thing that I want to note is in episode 3 with Kim. She tells KB specifically, she's like, if you need me, call me. I'll help. A couple episodes later, we get that moment with KB where she feels like she doesn't have a voice. She doesn't have a say in anything that she and Fern do. Then in episode 8, she is the one to go out past the barrier, and she is the one to make the call to Kim. I thought that was a really nice little full circle moment that tied in the beginning, a little setup in the middle, polish it off in the end. That was great. That made me really happy for KB.
I think I think each kid had a really solid arc. I like that Neil wants to be a pacifist, but when he's on at Akron, he asks about like the cannons and stuff like that. And then to save KB with her going towards the barrier, he has to use the cannon to take out them on the pirate ship.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is cool. But then immediately once he does that, he takes out a couple and he just runs away right when the cannon explodes. So, but I love that I think that's probably like now he understood why it would need to be necessary sometimes. But he's still not going to choose to do that first thing. But to save people, it's different than doing it to attack people. He did it to save KB, not to attack the pirates.
Hey, very Jedi of him, you know?
Yeah, you know.
In defense, not offense, you know?
Yeah. Wim finally getting to hold the lightsaber correctly.
That made me so happy for him. He's just a kid, dude, and he's holding it like really close to him, but he's just like, and I was like, oh, let's go, my goat. Oh, also, it's been confirmed. Guess when that lightsaber is from, Brad.
Is it High Republic?
It's a High Republic's lightsaber, man. Come on. I love that Star Wars is just like, hey, we got the High Republic, man. We're gonna sprinkle it into so much stuff.
Do we know whose it is?
Nah. I mean, like, we meet a lot of Jedi in. True. I mean, it could very well be given to someone. Like, it could be an original, but it could very well be like maybe because we have that lightsaber collection book. Yes. Maybe like they'll do a new one. I mean, they keep making new lightsabers. Maybe they'll do another one in a few years, and we'll see like, oh, it's actually this person's, or we'll get like an info book where it reveals who it was. That'd be cool.
Yeah. And I like that, like the moment with Fern telling her mom, like, yo, like, please just trust me and listen to me.
Yeah.
And like, don't fall into the scheme of listening to the supervisor. But like, as the BC Boys would say, fight for your right, you know?
To party?
But yeah. And then, yeah, she helps with Wim's dad with pulling down the barrier, and then all that happens. And yeah, but I like how each kind of arc had a circle, you know, as arcs should. Not one of the kids had an arc and then it just kind of went and stopped, you know?
Yeah.
Which I dug.
It was solid. You know, and like, again, this show, it was not trying to redefine Star Wars in any way whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It's so refreshing because it was literally just like fun episodes, a good time. You know, it was just there to, hey, skeleton crew, I'll throw that on. I'm really not a fan of having 8-episode seasons and most of the episodes are like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, Mando did that. Book of Boba Fett did that. Ahsoka's doing that. Like every single show for the amount of Book of Boba Fett only being 6 episodes. Or no, it was 7 episodes, I think.
Yeah, and 2 of them were Mando.
2 of them were Mando episodes. So we barely got like any real Boba Fett stuff.
So if you watch Book of Boba Fett for Boba Fett, you're watching what? 5 out of 7. You have a 5 episode season.
Yeah, man. And like, I don't know. I think the flashbacks were necessary, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. They were necessary, sure, but they had so many flashbacks for the first like 3 episodes, it was mostly flashbacks, and we didn't really get any current. We didn't really get to see Boba Fett doing cool Boba Fett shit.
Nah.
So
it was
like
just him kind of tweaking out in the back of the tank.
That's what I'm saying. Like
what happened.
Boba Fett right now, like in the current canon, if all you do is watch the movies and the shows, right? You watch the prequels and you're like, oh, he's a kid. You watch his dad die. You watch the originals, you're like, oh shit, he's like a bounty hunter now. Oh, he gets
Clone Wars 2 if you want.
Yeah, but like Clone Wars is still like, oh, he's learning. Sure.
Yeah.
You get to the originals, you're like, oh, episode 5, he's a badass. Okay. He's like taking in Han Solo, but he didn't really do much. He just tracked them. But he's in the background. Maybe episode 6, he'll pop off. Episode 6, he's dead immediately in the most embarrassing way. Book of Boba Fett, Mando comes out. He's badass in Mando, man. Yes, that whole episode on the rocks, or on the rock, like where he gets the armor back, he has the gaffy stick. That's an awesome episode. He does the seismic charge and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then Book of Boba Fett, he's like almost like a pacifist in some ways. He's like, no, we're not gonna fight each other. We're gonna have a treaty. We're gonna have peace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I understand he's a different character, but we didn't get enough of seeing who he was before to like justify it. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like the Boba Fett we see in Mando season 2 is different than the Boba Fett we see in Book of Boba Fett, but there was no development on getting between those two.
Yeah.
Because in Mando, he's all about killing to get his armor back and helping Mando. And then I guess once he's in Mos Espa, he's like, nah, I'm not doing this. Which, like, I respect that choice of Boba being like, oh no, I don't want to fight. I want to rule with respect. I feel like that's kind of a cool aspect to go for a former bounty hunter.
Yeah.
But I feel like it just wasn't. I feel like it just kind of came out of nowhere. And like, if there was like a moment in like Mando season 2 where he like hesitated to kill someone, or he was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore, or something, or like you really felt that like he was at conflict with what he wants to do and what he has been doing, then I feel like it would make more sense going into Boba Fett. But yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't handled the best, I think.
Yeah.
All right. All Star Wars TV.
Who is your best friend, Brad?
Oh, my best friend on the Skeleton Crew?
Yeah. So right before we recorded, Brad and I both took who is your Skeleton Crew best friend on the Star Wars.
It's on the Star Wars website. If you would like to take it.
It was fun. It was 10 questions. It was really quick.
Yeah. Let us know who your friend is.
All right. Tell me. You go first. Am
I telling you mine?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guessed.
Don't just say the name. Say like the whole little thing.
Oh, so okay. So do you want me? Oh, so you want me to say the description and then tell
just
you
like the title? You know what I mean?
Of the reveal that I got?
Yeah.
Okay. Never fear. Neil is here.
That's who I got too.
Yes. I love Neil, dude.
Dude, that's so funny.
I guess, yeah. I mean, loyal, lovable, and downright adorable. Having Neil as a best friend is like winning the friend jackpot. Come on.
Seeing episode 1 when Wim and Neil see each other and they both light the lightsabers, I'm immediately like, my goats, dude. Like,
Dude,
get out of town, bro. These guys
then
are
he
so
cuts
much
off
fun.
his arm, and then Neil falls to his knees. He's like, "Wait, I have an eyelash." He's like, "Oh, bro, okay." And then he like helps.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god,
dude, I can't emphasize the moment where he passes out. It's so funny to me.
no, it's so good. Neil,
And he loves taking baths.
He just keep getting caught lacking, man.
Yeah. But he's great. I love the suspenders. I love his little look. I love his trunk.
I love his little comb over too. It's so funny.
Everything, dude. He's great. That's cool. I'm glad we both got Neil.
Who'd you pick for one of the questions was like, who's your favorite Jedi?
Yes.
And there's Obi-Wan, Cal Kestis, which was, I almost picked Cal.
Yeah. Yoda.
Yeah, it was Obi-Wan, Cal, Yoda, Jocasta Nu, Porter Engle, and then any of the Skywalkers.
Yeah, I put any of the Skywalkers.
That's super valid. Anakin, Luke.
Yeah, I didn't want to be basic, but I don't know. But then I saw you already did it, and then I was like, "Oh, Porter Engle's on here." You're like, "What?"
No, because I saw Obi-Wan, and like I didn't even think. I didn't even look at any of the other ones. I saw Obi-Wan. I was just like, I'll just go Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's awesome. I clicked on that, and then hearing Porter Engle, he's a High Republic Jedi, and he was an absolute highlight in Light of the Jedi to me. And then reading his second like separate comic, I was like,
he's in the Rising Storm too. He was really, really good.
Yeah, man, it's crazy really that he's like cool, retired, but he's also Jedi. Just like, yeah, man, like he just wants to be like a frontiersman kind of guy. But then he gets called in to do like Jedi shit when it's legit.
He wants to make his famous stew, right?
It's like 9 rock or like 9 egg stew or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, no, he's dope.
He's great.
Yeah,
and it's Neil,
cool. Man, Neil.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Or his alien species is like a. I don't even remember. It's like a Mikeyan or something like that.
It's like is it Mickeyan?
Mickeyan or Mikeyan? Well, it's 2 Y's.
Yeah.
So it might be Mickeyan.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting how close he looks to Max Rebo.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But they're different species. Which I mean, hey, like that doesn't really bother me because like you have how many species do you have in Star Wars that look basically just like humans but a little bit different? You have humans you have species that look like humans but they're like gray skin. You have species that look like humans but they got blue skin. You've got Twi'leks that look just like humans but they got tentacles or they're not tentacles. What are they called?
What, the tendrils? Or wait, which one are you talking about?
Twi'leks.
The Leku?
Leku, yeah.
Leku, yeah.
Those are cool. They can like pick shit up. They're like extrasensory organs.
Interesting.
Very scary. Yo, people already sell that saber from the High Republic.
Really?
Or from Skeleton Crew.
Does it say?
I don't know, but I just saw a thing. And it's some guy has it, and I'm like, I'm jealous, dude. I so desperately want money. I just want so much money to just buy lightsabers and like a Mando helmet.
All right, so it says Star Wars series Skeleton Crew lightsaber was discovered by Skeleton Crew and belonged to the pirate. Oh, okay. So it just says it belongs to the pirate that had it, not the Jedi that had it.
I mean, we don't know. To be fair, man, we don't know how long he's been dead, do we?
No.
Because he's like a myth, almost. Like, he's a legend.
Who, Tech Rented?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we know how long he was dead for, but all the pirates, like, worship him, so yeah.
Interesting. Again, in a new... I don't know, man. Okay, well, here's the thing, though. I mean, here's the thing. The prequel era, when it was going into the original trilogy, they destroyed most of the Jedi's lightsabers. So that kind of makes sense that the only real lightsabers that would be out in the galaxy are just old High Republic lightsabers, like relics like that.
Yeah.
It is really
just, like,
cool
discovered ones.
that like those High Republic lightsabers are all like in still really good condition though.
Yeah, no, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think what else I have to say about the show. I'm trying to remember. Episode 2 was solid. I really like Jod's intro in episode 2.
Jod's intro is good, and I like Wim's just blind
trust.
faith like that. He's a Jedi.
Well, because throughout the show, there was that whole dialogue with the fan base where it was like, is Jod actually a Jedi?
Yeah,
was he a Jedi? Because he has this heart-to-heart moment with Wim.
Yes.
And in it, he very
quotes
much
Qui-Gon.
Yeah, like he indirectly quotes Qui-Gon, like I think directly says, "Your focus determines your reality." That's exactly what Qui-Gon said. So it's like he has these sort of Jedi-esque tidbits of advice, but he's just like, he says it with more like poison.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't mean it in the sense that like Qui-Gon is like, your focus determines your reality, like shape your future, use the Force. He's like, no, like take what you want. Your focus determines your reality. If you want something, take it, kind of. That's how I took it.
He feels like someone that didn't have anything and was found by a Jedi and still lived with those ideals that he had the way he grew up, but just also with a little bit of Jedi. So he,
yes.
I don't know, like he's still like pessimistic and he's still like selfish, but having that master for that short time gave him like a little bit of light, you know, but he's still him. But I feel like, because do we know what age he was found when the Jedi found him?
Well, so, I mean, ready? Hang on. I'm gonna look up. So, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say, we'll just say like they're the same age. So he's 52. Jude Law's 52.
Okay.
So we'll say Jod is 50, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we actually don't know. Well, I mean, we know the New Republic is a thing. So let's say, for safety's sake, that this takes place 6 years after Return of the Jedi, because Mando season 1 is 5 years after.
Okay.
We could go ahead and say that this is like 7 years after, because I think that's when like season 3 Ahsoka is happening, and maybe I could see them being like, we're not going to go back in time, we're just going to keep moving forward. So, you know, let's say 7 years.
Okay, it's
I'm throwing numbers.
Okay, no. Okay, online it says 9 years after Battle of Yavin, 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Ooh, okay, my first guess. I was right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he was 45 in Return of the Jedi. 42 in A New Hope. He was 23 when the Empire took over. So he's older than I thought.
Yeah.
So maybe they might.
So that's the thing. Like, if he's already like in his 20s when he's like lost and a Jedi finds him, like, you're not going to change some things.
That's the thing. Yeah. Is he? Ow.
He has that great monologue when he saves his own life due to the pirate code.
Yeah.
When he starts talking about like how he's hungry and how like he's only ever gotten scraps and all that stuff. That
was a great monologue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, speaking of great monologues in Star Wars, and no. Dude, the other day I sat down, I listened to Luthans, I listened to Marva's, and then I listened to Nemik's Manifesto monologue, like in one sitting, and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, so if he was, you know, at the youngest, we'll play around with his age if he's playing like somebody a little bit younger, because that happens. He could have been in like his teens, maybe.
Yeah.
But regardless, like, yeah, that is old. And, you know, in Rebels, Ezra is like 15, maybe 15, 16, I think.
Yeah.
So, that's young, but he's also got a much more positive outlook on life. And he's got like some people on Lothal that seem to care for him.
Yeah, different situation.
Yeah, different situation. If John really came up just living his whole life, just shit, scraps, starving, having to fight for what he wants, I could definitely see that.
If he like lived on Alderaan and then left the planet and like then heard that it got exploded, I feel like he'd have a different outlook because he lived on all like,
Yeah.
Like he would have a different perspective. But yeah,
it's interesting. I do really hope we get some backstory for Jod eventually. I just think it would be better in a separate piece of media. Maybe a book, maybe a comic.
Ooh.
Maybe what would actually be really fucking cool, and I know they won't do this, but make a TV show
about Jod,
and just like cast somebody else. Don't care. Get a young Jod and bring that. You want to know something that I found out? I don't know if this is true. I didn't 100% fact check this, but apparently that the person who was playing his master, her name, I can't remember the character's first name, but her last name was Nawud.
Oh, okay.
So people are thinking maybe Jod is like Jod of Nawud or like son of Nawud or something like that.
Interesting.
So like still got the respect for.
Yeah.
Would have been really cool. I understand why they cut it, but would have been cool.
Yeah. And he didn't want to kill.
He didn't.
That's a big thing.
I was a big Jod hater, but by the end of this, I got hope. We'll see him again. Maybe even if he's evil, maybe like an anti-hero kind of thing.
Yeah. But even then, I think if we see him in something else and he's like acting all slimy, be like, oh, that's Jod.
Yeah, man. Like I absolutely loved in episode 4 when the kids were sent to literally the front lines, and then Jod just walks through and he's like, here are your EOPs. He's like, you guys don't care that I spent all your money, do you? And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, hey, whoa, I rescued you. You cannot be mad at me.
Yeah.
I love that. I really hope we get a second season. I really hope some time goes by. Yo, hear me out. Season 2. Okay. Season 2, ready? Yeah. Skeleton Crew Season 2. Season 2 of Skeleton Crew. Everybody's a little bit older. Jod's in prison. Something happens. They get Jod out of prison to help them.
Interesting.
That could be really cool.
Only he could help them with.
Yeah, like it's some like illegal shit, and the New Republic won't help them. But they're like, we know who'll help us. They're like, God. we can bust you out of jail if you agree to help us. If you don't help us, we'll just call the New Republic and tell them you escaped. And he's like, damn.
What if, like, somehow, some way,
Palpatine returns? Sorry.
Nope. Credits get robbed. And they're like, well, we know someone who's really good at wanting credits. And then they take Jod out of prison to help him, for him to help them get the credits back or something like that,
Yeah.
Which would be kind of funny.
And then the real villain of that season is Hondo. Brad, you're a genius. Yeah. That'd be funny. That could be cool. Like, see, there's already there's stuff they can do.
There's for sure. There's nuggets of stuff that you could go forward with.
It just sucks that with these ideas, we're gonna have to wait a while for these characters to get older.
Honestly, I'll take waiting a while if it means that we get the quality out of it.
Yeah, it's one thing where it's like House of the Dragon taking 2 or 3 years between seasons for no reason, when Game of Thrones was able to do a season a year. And these seasons are shorter now.
Yeah.
That I'm still salty about that. That's not Star Wars, but that's something I am forever salty about.
The TV's in a weird state right now, I think.
Yeah. Streaming is about to implode.
Yeah, probably.
Like all these streaming services are bundling up. Let's just turn it back at a cable.
It's gross.
Netflix is like $25. What? Anyways.
I don't know.
That's Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. Woo! Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Watch the show. Really good. One of the better live action Star Wars shows, I would say.
It's a good time. Like if you want something that's just fun, it's fun.
Yes.
It's got action, it's got heart, it's got fun droid with rat and eye, and he speak like pirate. Yar.
There's no crazy world-ending cataclysmic event. Like it's pretty small scale.
Yeah. I mean, dude, yeah. Think about Ahsoka.
It's more contained. If you want something more contained, this is it.
Ahsoka's like, they're bringing back one of the most evil people from a different galaxy. We're going to a different galaxy and all this shit. And then Skeleton's crew like, hey, we're lost. We need to get home. It's just, it's so refreshing because so much of Star Wars is just big events, you know, like, oh my God, everybody's lives are at stake. Skeleton's crew's just like, we know he's sketchy, but we don't know how to get home. Lead the way, Mr. Pirate Man. It is a really good time, though.
All right, Ted. Well, with that, would you say we're good?
Yes, sir. Oh, real quick.
Oh, yes.
We've got a few followers on the Spotify and a few subscribers on the YouTube, which is pretty fire. But I do also want to mention that we have a Twitter account as well at Starlight_cast.
Sweet.
So give that a follow. Gonna try and update when new episodes drop on there and some other stuff.
We're gonna slowly keep building this up.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, that was it for our Skeleton Crew episode 2 of the Starlight Broadcast.
Wait, Skeleton Crew View. No, that was better in my head.
Skeleton Crew View?
Well, like Skeleton
Review.
It was the Crew Review. There we go.
Crew Review.
It was right there.
All right. I dig that.
Yeah. All right.
All right, well. I'm Brad.
I'm Ted.
Thank you guys for listening to Starlight Broadcast. We will see you next time. Transmission out.